What if the reflection you see every morning isn't just light bouncing off glass, but something waiting for its turn to be real? What if your instinct to look away from a dark mirror at night is the only thing keeping your soul anchored to your body? Welcome to Shadowland, a place where darkness breathes and silence speaks. Tonight, we explore a terrifying case of the uncanny from a quiet suburb in the Pacific Northwest, where a woman realized her reflection was no longer content with just mimicking her movements. Stay until the end if you want to know why you should never make eye contact with yourself after midnight. I've always hated mirrors. Even as a kid in our old house in Ohio, I'd cover them up before I went to sleep. But as an adult living in a modern apartment with floor-to-ceiling glass, I forced myself to get over it. It was just physics, right? Last Friday, I was getting ready for bed, brushing my teeth in the ensuite. The fluorescent light was humming a familiar sterile sound that usually made me feel safe. I leaned in to spit into the sink, and for a split second, my reflection stayed upright. I froze. I looked up slowly. My reflection was staring back at me, perfectly synced. Now I told myself it was exhaustion. Too many late shifts. Too much caffeine. I took a deep breath, turned off the light, and walked into the bedroom. I crawled under the covers, the suburban silence outside only broken by the distant rustle of the pines. I was safe! I was in my bed. My door was locked. I began to drift off. That heavy, peaceful fog of sleep settling over me. Then, I heard a sound that made my skin turn to ice. A rhythmic, metallic tink. Tink. Tink! It was coming from the bathroom. It sounded like someone tapping a fingernail against glass. I bolted upright. Clutching the sheets, I grabbed my phone and shined the flashlight toward the ensuite door. The beam of light hit the large vanity mirror. I wasn't in the reflection. The bed was empty. The room in the mirror was perfectly still. But I wasn't in it. Then a hand, my hand, wearing my silver ring, pressed against the inside of the glass from the other side! I scrambled backward, hitting the headboard. I was hyperventilating, my eyes locked on the mirror. Then, the reflection of my bedroom door in the glass began to open. But in my actual room, the door remained shut. I watched through the window of the mirror as a dark, distorted version of me crawled out from under the reflected bed. I felt a wave of relief when the figure in the mirror stopped. It just stood there, looking frustrated, unable to cross the silver barrier. I was safe. The glass was solid. It couldn't get through. I started to reach for my lamp to turn on the main lights, feeling the adrenaline begin to ebb. That's when I felt the cold, wet breath on my real-world shoulder. I looked down at my arm, my silver ring. The one I had been wearing for years was gone! I looked back at the mirror. The thing on the other side was smiling now, and it was sliding my ring onto its finger. It wasn't trying to get out anymore. It had already swapped places. I wasn't the one looking into the mirror. I was the one trapped inside it! If you want to survive the next night in Shadowland, make sure to subscribe and leave a light on in the comments. It helps us find you in the dark. Sleep well. If you're sure your reflection is still doing what you are.